Hey mom, today the main focus was on thinking slowly and on using stillness to turn recent experience into real direction instead of letting it remain a blur of movement and scenery. After packing so much into the past 2 weeks, mountains, temples, long drives, and new places around Chiang Mai, today was intentionally quiet. Laundry, the gym, a walk in the park, and some fruit from the market. Nothing impressive on the surface, but that simplicity created the conditions for something more important: space. Space to process, to integrate, and to think without urgency pressing on every thought. There's a specific value in ordinary, almost boring tasks. They occupy the hands just enough to free the mind. When the stakes are low and the actions are repetitive, the brain stops reacting and starts organizing. While folding clothes or walking with no destination, thoughts don't compete as aggressively. They stretch out, patterns emerge, and instead of cycling through surface level worries, deeper questions start to take shape. Questions like, what parts of the last 2 weeks felt energizing versus draining? What environments made me feel grounded rather than restless? What kind of pace actually suits me? Thinking slowly happens naturally when the day doesn't demand constant decision making. This kind of slow thinking is especially important after a period of heavy exploration. When you're constantly moving, everything feels possible. New places, new ideas, and new futures all seem equally attractive. That's exciting, but it can also be misleading. Motion creates momentum without necessarily creating clarity. Today acted as a counterbalance to that mode. It wasn't about finding new inputs, but about letting recent experiences settle. Integration requires stillness. Without it, experiences stay fragmented, interesting but not instructive. Constraints make this process sharper, not smaller. With 8 weeks left in the school year and a visa tied directly to employment, there's a real edge to these reflections. The pressure is there, whether acknowledged or not. But today showed that urgency doesn't require speed. In fact, rushing under constraint often leads to reactive decisions. Slow thinking works best when limits are clearly recognized. The timeline, the visa, and the end of my contract all narrow the field in a useful way. They force questions to become more practical, like what options are actually viable and which paths align with both desire and reality. Rather than spiraling, slowing down let these constraints act like guardrails. They reduce noise and they make it easier to separate serious possibilities from distractions that only exist when time feels unlimited. Thinking slowly doesn't mean ignoring pressure. It means refusing to let pressure hijack judgment. It's choosing clarity over panic. What became clear today is that stillness itself is productive work. There's a tendency to equate progress with visible action. By the end of the day, nothing externally had changed. The contract still ends. The visa situation is still real. The next steps are still undecided. But internally, the ground felt firmer. And that's the quiet power of thinking slowly. It doesn't always deliver answers immediately, but it creates the conditions for better ones to emerge. I ate some red curry and rice with the koi fish, and that was it for my day. Okay, love you. Bye.